to give you guys an idea of what's going on. This is South Congress Street, downtown Austin. This just kind of happened. I'm not sure if this was part of the plan. But after about an hour of speeches from organizers, we now have a crowd of several hundred folks walking down South Congress Street, right in the middle of downtown Austin.
My name's Sydney. We are currently at the Texas State Capitol in Austin, standing in the front on the lawn. And we're currently protesting because the government is trying to overturn Roe V Wade, Supreme Court decision that has been put in place for decades and decades and decades to try to take away a woman's choice to have an abortion.
It's completely absurd that there's even an opinion, even a draft opinion of this that's going out there right now.
Yeah, I think we're fighting not only for women's rights, but also, like, at the end of the day, when you overturn something so instrumental and foundational as Roe v. Wade, the question is what's next, right? Like, are we going to overturn, laws and policies that protect equal rights for the LGBTQ community, but also, like, people of color? Like, all of that comes into play, and it's not just women's rights, it's women's rights today, but it's everything else, like, following that, right? And that's why we're here today.
I am here because I think it's unacceptable that somebody can even think about overturn Roe versus Wade and take away our rights, and I think that's just unacceptable.
Well, so it's important for Texas because Texas already has laws on the books that effectively are going to completely ban abortion the second Roe v. Wade is overturned. Like, we already have these laws signed. They're just set to go on the second it happens. So immediately abortion's going to be banned in Texas whenever this eventually happens.
Hoping that it's not set in stone. It was a leaked opinion that is not finalized, and seemingly there's still a chance to turn around if Congress were to decide to do that. It doesn't seem like they're not, but I'm hoping that they might actually listen to the people who voted for them and decide that they can turn this around and take action on that. So that's what I'm hoping.
It's disheartening, and I think what we do here today isn't going to change things right away, but I think, there was a lot of talk with the BLM marches, with everything happening over the past couple of years over, is this the time to march? Is this the time to protest? And I think that every time is the time to do that, especially in the world we live in. Again, 2022, we're fighting this battle, and, it's about solidarity right now and really trying to vocally dissent. And I think in other places, right, I'm a native New Yorker. I moved down here a year and a half ago. She's actually visiting, and we decided from New York. And there's just so much to do. So in terms of next steps, it's to just keep doing what we're doing and really hope that it's heard at some point, right? And again, Texas is a bigger battle than I think anywhere else right now.
Today, I think we're going to be heard, and I hope somebody listen and somebody do something, like, inside this building. I hope somebody does something, please, because we are in danger, literally, because abortions are not going to stop. They're just going to stop from having safe abortions. So I hope somebody do something.
Well, I think, frankly, we'd be kidding ourselves if we think a day of organizing is going to do much of anything. And I think most of us are aware of that. What's going to change anything is going to be sustained collective action and sustained movements in the streets. We can look to Latin America and the Green Wave protests as an example of what needs to happen for this to basically not go through.
My hope for protests is to, of course, raise public awareness. It's difficult, though, because for the Supreme Court, it's not about re-election. They have their spots secured. And so the hardest part is trying to change people's minds when they don't really have to care about public opinion. Now, in some cases, it's true. Supreme Court justices do look at public opinion, and they do see how the public responds to them. But in a case like this that's so controversial about abortion, they can basically do whatever they want. And so I hope that protests like these show that they're hurting not the white men that are making these decisions. They're not hurting the people that have the money. They're not even thinking about the low-income women that don't have the resources. And I think next steps after this would be immediate next steps would to just try to overturn it best way possible, take another case to the Supreme Court and, get one of those like star cases and debate, fight it back.
Rise Up for Abortion Rights and us are partnering together over the next few weeks to have events almost every few days. On May 11th, we're going to be in front of the governor's mansion having a Greg Abbott is pro-death protest. And then the 14th, we're going to be having a march in front of the Trump rally here in Austin. Just like the sustained collective action, there needs to be sustained, just like in the media, sustained pressure for anything at all to change if we want it to change,
This is an interesting question because we're coming up in November, which is an election year, especially for like governing here, right? But I also think we're in an interesting position when you're right, Democrats do have control, and it's like, I hope that there is retaliation. I hope that there are laws that are put in place in certain states, especially the most conservative, that try to protect these women's rights. But this isn't what I want to say, but I sadly do believe that not enough efforts will actually be made by the legislative to actually result in real laws. I think there's going to be a lot of debate. I think there's going to be filibusters, but I don't truly believe that an end result will be made simply because of it being election year of, Biden doesn't like to make a lot of big moves, especially on a topic as controversial as this. So my ending thought is that for all the men and the women and the legislators and the politicians who are seeing this as protecting a life, think about all the negative effects that are coming from that. Crime rates are going to go up. We're already in a huge global population. Climate change is going to get worse. Economic factors are going to get worse. And nobody really understands the repercussion of trying to decide something about a woman. And until the Constitution writes something about a man's body, nothing should be written about a woman's. That's it. The end.
Damn, that was awesome. Thank you so much.
Of course.
We're now marching down 4th Street in Austin. It is hot.
Thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in to Status Coup's daily live stream Monday through Thursday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time and Fridays at 4 o'clock Eastern Time.